Okay, so we ate Korean corn dogs today, and we ate them at a small chain called Two Hands Corn Dogs. That's TWO, not the number two. Very important. They're located right off Watt Avenue in Sacramento, California. Honey, what does Watt Avenue mean to you in your life? The famous, the notorious, for worse or worse, in Sacramento, Watt Avenue.
I spent many, many hours driving up and down Watt Avenue.
We all have, yeah.
Yeah, I grew up right off of South Watt.
Ah, that's right.
So drove a lot on that street. It's always the quality of the pavement has always been terrible, and I was reminded of that today as we were driving on it.
Yeah, tons of congestion. There's houses. I couldn't imagine living on a house and backing out of a driveway on a house on Watt Avenue, having kids playing in the yard. In the front yard on Watt Avenue. When I think of Watt Avenue, I think of hookers. So back in a few years after I moved here, it was very notorious that Watt Avenue was the playground of prostitutes. And one motel specifically was on the news for just being like Amsterdam, a brothel. And so being a young man, I drove by. I wanted to check out the scene.
Did you stop?
I slowed. I slowed down. I said, "You're just trying to pay your way through college, right, girl?" But I wanted to take a look at what was doing. I didn't, there was no retail transaction.
You were purely investigating.
Yes. I'm an investigative reporter. I've never gotten a hooker, honey. Just FYI.
Wow.
I know friends, many of my friends have, but I've never participated in the world's oldest profession. But drove by there, and yeah, dude, there were like women. These motel room, the doors were open. The women were standing in the doorways, and it was just like you would. I assume. I mean, I didn't, but they were just openly selling their bodies to put themselves through college, honey. And it was it was wild. It was crazy. Eventually, there was a huge bust. Sheriff descended and arrested the Johns and some of the gals. But yeah, it was open air market of selling your body.
Watt Avenue hasn't been the same since that bust.
Yeah, well, they keep it off. They're not as flagrant about it.
They moved over to El Camino.
Yes, which we drove on to get to Two Hands Corn Dogs. So Korean corn dogs, they're just corn dogs.
No. What is special?
Yes, what are they?
Instead of meat inside, you can get just pure cheese.
Yes.
Melty, stretchy cheese.
Yeah. So the inside can be all meat or half meat, half cheese. And then there's two cheeses. You got half mozzarella, half cheddar. I got half mozzarella and half beef or sausage or a hot dog. And then they throw a bunch of stuff on there, such as hot Cheetos powder, potato, Rice Krispies, crispy rice. That's what you got. Luna got the potato. I don't need hot Cheetos powder. Like I'm over it. The whole hot Cheetos craze. Potato. I mean, I like French fries and I like corn dogs, and I've had them in the same bite in the same mouthful. But it just seems too much. Like, if I want fries, and I did have fries today, and I had a corn dog, but I don't need it combined. It seems to be the Manitor of fast food entrees. Is that what I was going for?
And oop.
Centaur is what I was going for there, or Minotaur. But I just wanted like the OG Korean style corn dog, the corn dog Kim Jong-un intended me to dine on. So I just got the classic. They also have something called the Mega Star Set, which is 5 corn dogs for $22. Each corn dog is about $5 each, so you're saving a few dollars there. But we didn't get that for 2 reasons. One, because we're going to see my aunt soon, and we're trying to be keto. We're trying.
Starting right now.
Right now. And then the other thing is that when my mom hears this, I don't want her to. If she heard that we spent $22 on 5 corn dogs, she would jump out the window. Unless they were from Costco. Costco can do no wrong. So 2 Hands corn dogs. Their website sucks, dude. I won't go into detail, but I love ordering ahead. It was nearly impossible to order ahead. You can't order off hours. So when Little Caesars is closed at 2 a.m., you could place an order at 2 a.m. for the next day or for 6 months from now. It's really easy, but 2 Hands website, you can only place an order while they're open, which is very odd. You can't place an order ahead. And then the other thing is that you have to write in the time. Like there's a blank text field. Instead of doing a drop-down menu of I want my order Thursday at 5:20 p.m. No, you have to write in THURSDAY 5:20 p.m. And it seems odd. And you had to do that for every single item in our order.
They really make you work for these corn dogs.
It was so annoying. It was so annoying. So we arrive to 2 Hands corn dogs, and there's 0 seating. And it's like the Little Caesars footprint now. You walk in, and there's the counter. No seat to be found. And so thankfully it was just us. There was a party ahead of us, and then there was a party behind us. But I can imagine if it was 10 people, 15 people, you're all just standing there. They don't have the pagers to let you know when your order's ready. They don't have the speakerphone outside to let you know when your order's ready. So we were just standing there with a couple different parties, just waiting for our order. It was very odd. 0 seating. And then there was a restaurant. So there's seating outside down the little sidewalk, but that belonged to Don Quixote. I assume it's a Mexican restaurant. And they have a sign specifically saying, "This seating is not for you rubes eating your Korean corn dogs. This seating is for Quixote customers only." So I imagine they've had many, I imagine there's been many fisticuffs between the 2 Hands corn dogs and the Don Quixote. Ooh, Mexico versus South Korea. Okay, think about it. So we got our food. Came pretty quickly, and then we ate in your car.
Yeah, I was like, should we pop the trunk? Like we're tailgating at a sports event,
right.
Or
like,
no one was keen on that idea. Everyone wanted to sit inside.
Yeah,
even though it was so hot.
Yeah.
So we got in the car. I dispersed everybody's food to them, and then I drove 15 feet across the parking lot into a spot of shade for us.
Yeah. Thankfully.
So, yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Thankfully you did that. So Len and Luna ate, but we'll just focus on our food. You got the crispy rice dog, kimchi fries, and pineapple slush. It's a slushy, by the way. And I got the one classic dog, dirty fries, and horchata slush. Let's start with the drinks, honey. You got the pineapple slush. Thoughts, feelings, comments, reflections?
Yeah, it was a beautiful neon yellow color.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You kept trying to take a picture of it.
I finally got a good one.
Trying to get the perfect angle, aesthetics.
It was super sweet, really good.
Yeah.
What ended up happening is I drank about half of my slushie. Then I started eating my corn dog, which was coated thickly with sugar, just plain white sugar.
Heck of sugar.
So by the end of my meal, I was like sugar overload. It was way too much, but just my slushie on its own was really delicious.
Yeah, it was yummy. It was refreshing. How pineapple-y is it? Oh,
well,
sure. It was sweet, but yeah, it was a fine slush there. I got the horchata, which is described as a drink. This is from the 2 Hands website. Horchata slush, and this is in all caps, by the way, but I won't yell. Drink made with rice and is flavored with cinnamon and sweetened with sugar. The rice, sometimes along with some nuts or seeds, is ground and mixed with water to make a milky-looking drink. Wow. Sounds appetizing.
Yum.
So I started sucking on the straw, and right away I was like, oh, this is too thick, like a Jack in the Box a shake where you're just like nothing's coming up. But then the straw was at the bottom of the cup, so I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. But overall, it was good.
Your horchata slushy was so good.
Yeah.
And I'm not a horchata fan.
Yeah.
I think because it was icy and slushy.
Yeah.
It was super yummy.
It was quite good. It wasn't overpowering. Is it authentic horchata? Is it Americanized? Isn't Koreanized? Please don't cancel me if that's wrong. But it's good. It's hard to nail the horchata flavor. Even a lot of taquerias, their horchata is kind of like, this is really watered down stuff.
Where have you gotten a good horchata before?
Mike Rasmussen we used to show up. My old roommate in college, he would show up with a milk gallon jug, but it would be filled with horchata. No idea where he bought it. Probably somewhere in the East Bay.
Like from a Mexican store?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he would have it in the fridge, and we would take swigs of it. It was super cinnamony. It was so good. To me, that's like real authentic horchata. Most horchatas are just kind of like sort of a sweet drink, tiny bit of cinnamon, but it was a lovely milky looking drink. The sides, you got kimchi seasoning fries, described as French fries drizzled with 2 hands kimchi seasoning. Honey, what'd you think?
These were delicious. They were very spicy.
Yeah.
Very hot.
Too spicy.
Very thick coating of this seasoning.
Yeah, a lot of it.
But it was really good.
Can't miss it. Yeah. Good fry cut. Thicker than shoestring. The seasoning, it was too hot for me for whatever reason. I mean, I wasn't dying, but I was like, oh, this is really spicy. But overall, it was a win. It was yummy. It was tasty. I got the dirty fries, described as they're with tater tots, but they call them fries for whatever reason. Described as deep fried potato tater puff with 2 hands dirty sauce and Cheetos powder. This is the hot Cheetos powder. I thought these were absolutely fantastic. The tots were bussin'. The sauce was just outstanding. I wish there was more sauce. It needed more sauce. But overall, this was like my favorite thing I ate today. You had a couple bites. Did you like it?
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
I would agree both of our fries were better than the actual dogs that we ate.
Yeah, great point. And then our dogs, you got the crispy rice dog with half mozzarella, half cheddar, described as crispy rice puffs, wrapped corn dog, added extra crispiness and flavor. Oh, okay. Their website is, I don't know if like Panda Express was started by Asian husband and wife. I don't know if 2 Hands is started by like an older Asian couple, or if it's like a couple old white guys running a hedge fund who are trying to ride the Korean wave or whatever, or cultural appropriate.
The website sounds like someone typed into the Google Translate box in Korean and it translated to English. And so it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's not quite accurate.
Yeah, it's not native. Well, speaking of native horchata, it's not native English, but I have no idea what's going on there. So what did you think of your crispy rice dog, my love?
Let me just say that I have been looking forward to this for a really long time.
Yeah.
Because this is an embarrassing secret.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching those mukbang videos.
You do?
Where it's just like people eating food.
Yeah.
And the Korean corn dog is a really popular item because the cheese pull is so it's very like aesthetic and it's fun, it's different.
Yeah.
So
it's something to behold.
I was looking forward to this.
Yeah.
And sadly, I wasn't very happy with my dog.
Yeah.
First of all, there was less cheese than breading. Like the breading was so overpowering.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the crispy rice thing. I'm glad I got that.
Yeah.
But then they rolled the whole thing in sugar.
Yeah, yours came doused in sugar.
It was so much sugar.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really wipe it off.
Yeah.
It was just like stuck on it.
Yeah. Mine had sugar, but it was like half sugar. Like the bottom half, or 180 degrees of the sphere was sugar, but then the other 180 degrees was ketchup and mustard. But yeah, yours was way too much sugar.
Yeah. So Oh, hi. How are you?
Ladies and gentlemen,
And oop.
our next guest brought energy drinks and pizza to his friend's house.
Wait.
And oop.
Yeah, so it was just way too much dough, too much sugar compared to the amount of cheese that there was. And the cheese was good.
Yeah.
It just, I was hoping for more savory.
Yeah. I would describe it as like a melty string cheese.
It was like a donut with string cheese in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yours had way too much sugar. The crispy rice, I could get behind, but a fresh fried corn dog is already crispy. The batter is already crispy. So more crispy, I'm not against it, but I was like, why?
And oop.
Next time, are you going to stick with all cheese? Or are you going to get half dog, half cheese, or all dog?
I'm going to do all cheese again. All mozzarella this time. I think that was better. And no sugar.
Yeah.
And I might try the potato one next time. Just for fun.
Did you have a bite of Luna's?
No.
Okay. I got the classic dog, half mozzarella, half sausage, described as combination of sweet and savory, the classic Korean style corn dog. So Korean, honey. It was like a 1988 Summer Olympics, am I right? My dog was good. I thought it was better than yours just because it had less sugar. And it had ketchup and mustard on it. That was fine. I usually just dig ketchup. But I didn't need it. Like I was eating it like, this isn't bad, but I don't crave this. This is good, but I don't like it that much. It was very confusing. The feelings shooting through my heart and belly.
About halfway through mine, I was like, I don't want any more.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to waste it.
Yeah.
I didn't quite finish it, but I kept going.
Yeah.
A lot longer than I really wanted to.
Yeah. And the sugar was fine, but like I like the batter usually has a sweet taste to it for corn dogs, and then I like ketchup on mine, which is also sweet. So sugar, just more sweet. I was just like, okay, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna kick it out of bed, okay? But I don't desire it. We'll never again.
Nah.
I'm glad we did it.
I'm really glad we tasted it.
Yeah, but no desire, no wanting. I'll never, ever go back. And corn dogs, like frozen corn dogs, the batter is so important. So even going to Wiener Schnitzel, Wiener Schnitzel is subpar, but they fresh fry the corn dog, and it's a frozen corn dog, but they fry it, or going to corn dog on a stick. I think that's a superior.
Hot dog on a stick is better than
hot
this.
Dog on a stick. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Where they fresh fry it, and then they don't need to gunk it up with all this nonsense.
Lennox just got a classic corn dog.
Yeah.
It said like fair style corn dog.
Classic American corn dog. Yeah.
And he only ate a few bites.
Yeah.
He didn't like it.
Yeah.
The dough was it had an odd taste. I can't figure out what the flavor was, but it tasted different than a normal corn dog.
Yeah. I didn't like the breading. It was thick. It was almost cornbread like. No.
Well, aren't corn dogs cornbread?
It's all making sense now.
But this was not. I've never tasted a cornbread bread like this. It wasn't very good. It had a very odd flavor.
Yeah. Well, I found the batter just too thick. Maybe a little thinner because you're fresh frying it. But yeah, never again. Give me the Farmer John frozen 10-pack at Walmart for $6.99. And then after we saw Into the Spider-Verse 2 or Across the Spider-Verse 2 or whatever, Spider-Verse 2.
Spider-Verse 2.
What'd you think, honey?
It was chaotic. It was, I think it gave me anxiety. There's so much going on. There was so much light and sound and dialogue and music and flashes.
Yeah.
It was like the animation is amazing.
Yeah.
And I think the soundtrack is really good. Both of these movies have really good music.
Yeah.
And they're really beautiful to look at, like a feat of animation, but it was just too much. It was overwhelming.
Yeah.
And the story was hard to follow. The dialogue was hard to understand.
They didn't get to the crux, the nut of the story till at hour 20 in.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, the good part, the animation is unreal. Like, it's gorgeous to look at. You see the talent and creativity dripping off the celluloid. Like, you're just like, how did they come up with this? And this movie was delayed a few times, and I was like, why is this delayed? It's just a cartoon, but there's so many shots, and there's so many quick cuts, and there's so many different styles. I would say there's hundreds of different animation styles they got going on, maybe over 1,000. It's beautiful to look at. But yeah, noisy, loud, lots of explosions, an assault of the senses, just relentless chaos, especially in the first half too. Left me like numb and desensitized to it all.
It did chill out a bit in the second half, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, because that's when the story picked up. But yeah, these action scenes. There's too many action scenes. They go on way too long, and it results in a movie that is way too long at 2 hours and 16 minutes. You could have chopped easily 45 minutes. And this action was just, at the end, an action scene would stop, a fight would stop, and I'd be like, how did that end? Why? What happened during it? Because it was just, well, it's cartoon, so they can cut it super quick. They can edit it super quick. So I really dug the first one.
Yeah.
I really dug the first one.
So did I.
And then the second one, like, he's still, like, at odds and having conflict with his parents. And I was like, are we really still doing this? They're like, you should be here, and why aren't you here? And, well, he's a superhero, which he has to keep secret. But I was like, I don't need this trope anymore. I don't need this conflict. Let's move on. I need more Peter and Gwen Stacy. The villain, Spot, worst villain ever. So boring. He can make black holes appear. And it just causes confusion and just madness, and it's just not scary. And you can't see his face, so he has zero emotion, zero expression. So annoying. And then there's a pregnant spider gal, okay. And then there's another spider guy who has a daughter, and he brings his daughter to these fights, these battles. It's just like, whatever. It's a good movie. It's 45 minutes too long. But just visually, it's remarkable. Something to behold. A cinematic achievement. And I usually hate cartoon movies because I'm an adult. Next one comes out next year.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, there's going to be a third movie. Yeah. So we definitely will see it.
This ended... Right? Sure. This ended... with no ending.
You gotta stay tuned for the next installment.
Yeah, and I knew that was coming. You were severely disappointed.
I had no idea that this movie isn't like a standalone movie.
Right.
Like the first one totally is.
Yeah.
But apparently this one, they split into two parts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and well, it's kind of like how the Two Towers, Lord of the Rings ended with them just walking because... they got Return of the King is coming in 2 years. And so, yeah, that sucks. But Marvel and Sony and Disney or whoever makes this crap needs to make more paper, make more cheddar. Get that bag, as the rappers say. So Spider-Verse 3 will definitely check out. Korean corn dogs, never again. We ate Korean corn dogs. We'll never eat them again. First and last time. And that's it. Are we done, honey?
Yes.
Alrighty. We're done. Oh, bye-bye.